remember the East 1999 album, right? Yeah, it's gonna be East 1999, 2010. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it to a whole nother world, a whole nother level with the 5.1. Yeah.
So to do some homework last night, I went on YouTube, and I wanted to make sure I had some info, knowing what I'm coming to. And 1997, you guys won a AMA, and then in 2007, you won a AMA as well. What was that feeling like, having that big gap between winning best hip hop?
Yeah, best rapper. Well, it was man, it was a real wonderful thing, you know, because like by us being in the business for so long, and you know, like taking breaks out, like you know, like sometimes we would be like not heard from for like 2 years. So like to see that that we were still relevant out there in the music world, it was a real blessing, you know. Just you know, we got a lot of love for our fans because we have a real strong fan base, like a cult following. You know, they follow us like everywhere we go, through all the problems we go through all the trials and tribulations. So you know, we feel real blessed to be, you know, in 2007, 10 years later, to be winning the same awards. So it was real cool.
And it goes to show the longevity that you guys have in this very up and down business. There's a lot of kids out there trying to do what you're doing, right hits, right tracks. Do you have any tips and advice for people who may want to get to the level that you guys are?
Yeah, well, man, like you said, you know, the game is, you know, the music business is really changing. You know, so it's like you really have to learn the business, especially these days, because it's a lot different than it was, you know, like 10, 15 years ago.
Sure.
You know, it's a lot more digital, you know, like music is being downloaded. So you really have to learn the business to see how you really, you know, because like making music and selling albums is just, it's not how you make your money now. You know, like you have to have an album, you have to have a whole package, you have to market the album, you have to have something else going on besides just the music now, if you really want to make yourself known in this business. So I would just tell everybody to just really take time to learn the business. Even though it's called the music business, the music is like 5% of it, you know, and business is like everything. If you plan to be successful, you have to learn the business.
Definitely, business strategies has to be there. That's one of the first and foremost, having that acumen, a certain level of business acumen, and a certain level of persistency as well. Got to have that hard persistency and be willing to be diligent to be able to be creative, innovative. Just like we say, this is a shaky business. It's an up and down business, an up and down industry. So you got to be very, very, very creative and innovative as far as, you know, making an approach and having something presentable and worthy of the people's time, energy, and money.
So you guys have been doing records for a number of years now. How have you found kind of the technology progressions? Has that made it much easier and cost effective to put out products now?
Oh yeah, man, it's crazy now. The technology is now, you know, like we when we first started, we had it was cassettes and reel to reel. You know what I'm saying? So
a little more flexibility now with Cubase, huh?
Yeah, now you can MP3 a song right over to somebody, you know, like within minutes, you know. So it's like it's definitely gotten it's a lot more advanced, but it has to me it has helped the business a whole lot, like to move like a little faster. Everything's moving faster now.
And you feel like you've compromised your workflow, like your work, by having it so accessible now, or is it just make it faster to do more work?
Not compromise.
No, we fast.
Yeah, it helped. It helped. It was a help. It aided us to be more efficient in time, you know, in coming up with the stuff in proper fashion and stuff and so forth.
So do you have any tips like on kind of getting the sound you do for your records, kind of a unique sound? Maybe David could kind of comment on kind of maybe how to kind of get the overall sound, maybe like maybe someone who's kind of starting off working at home, how they kind of get the nice polished sound that you guys get.
See, it start off in the lab with us doing what we do, you know, collaborating, you know, with the different harmonies, the different type of flip-flop flows or whatnot. And we package that like that. So by the time it gets to Dave, it's like he worked his magic on it. You know, we bring that initial sound to it, that initial creative, that initial sound that we are so famously known for. But so by the time Dave gets it, he puts another twist on it, and you have an immaculate piece of work.
And I will say that all the mixing is going inside the box.
So you've probably been an audio engineer for a long time. Did you ever anticipate that you would be able to just mix entirely in the box, the computer, without going out to fancy consoles and fancy compressors?
Yeah, no, those giant mixing boards are boat anchors now. It's all going inside the box.
2 faders up?
All of it's going inside the box. I get better mixes inside the box than I ever did on the SSL console.
That's a pretty strong testament.
It's the future.
And you guys, when you kind of start off your projects, do you may like start in different tools, when you hand it off to David, they're all compatible and the workflow is very fast?
You know, I don't really track film very much. I've been in the studio when they recorded, but they just hand it to me to mix it. So.
No issues loading up files or anything?
No. We do what's called left edge prints, which means when we export from whatever they track in to Cubase, we consolidate the files, and then I import them into Cubase and store them all at bar 1, type in the BPM, and we're good to go. So it's really easy to get in and out of Cubase from other programs. They're called left edge prints.
And you see a lot of other people doing like all their pre-production and writing in Cubase?
I did the whole NASCAR highlights theme in Cubase. Produced it, wrote it, mixed it, and I did it all in Cubase. I didn't even use Reason for that. It was all Cubase.
All Cubase. Brian has a question.
One question more about your music solely is, when you guys started off, you know, kids, a lot of kids today, a lot of the songs out there today, it's all about I make beats. It's all about beat making. But I noticed you guys always have a message behind your words, and it really comes out. Have you noticed that your message has changed and adopted over the time and years? And where's that message going with this next record that's about to hit, and what kind of messaging do we have going forward from there?
Well, you know, we always have like a positive message with our music all the time. That's with all of our albums, you know, and we feel, you know, like with the position that we are in and the way our fans have supported us, you know, we feel responsible. We feel it's our duty to like put something positive out there, you know, because we came from like pure poverty, you know what I'm saying? And we know what it's like when you're struggling and you don't have that. So we try to be uplifting to our fans, you know, like we get a lot of people that come to us and they tell us how we saved their lives, and you know, they were on the brink of suicide or whatever. You know, that's more than any Grammy award or any platinum plaque can give us, you know, like, so we feel it's our duty to give back to our fans and to keep a positive message. You know, we all work, you know, we all were spiritual people coming up, you know, and we just kind of carry that message with us, you know, and our fans always seem to, like the difference with Bone is like, you're not going to get the same, you're not going to get an album with us talking about the same thing on the whole album. You know, it's going to be a mixture of something that everybody can relate to. You know, that remedy has worked for us like for so long. So we like, why change it?
Exactly. And I believe that's one of the things that gave us the longevity. You know, and of course the blessings of God gave us the longevity, is because even as teenagers, when we first came, broke through the door of the industry, 18 years old, as teenagers, we understood that this music can convey powerful and positive messages. So even back then, you know, and throughout the duration of up until now, we've created a lot of profound relationships with a lot of fans. So, and these people we call our fan base, our fan family, and it's a lot of people that I've known, you know, and the demographic is amazing. It's phenomenal. From 10 years old.